I'm Emery Hunt, the Czar of the Playbook, here on the campus of Princeton University with another edition of Talking Ball with the Czar. We had a great interview with head coach Bob Surace, so let's go to part 2 of that interview.
Coach, I always ask this question to everybody. It's one of my favorite questions, but what's your coaching philosophy?
Yeah, I think the first day, the first team meeting I had with the guys back in, 2010. I got the job December 23rd, 2009. They were on winter break. Come back, we have a team meeting, and we said, we're going to have guys that are smart, tough, disciplined, team-oriented. And the reason you do that, and the reason I did that at least, and I believe in that, is you control that. Mark Shapiro, one of my teammates, we both played offensive line together. Our last names were Ness, we had lockers together. Is the president of the Cleveland Indians, small market team. Team that doesn't have, everything that the teams that they compete against. And Mark's control the controllables. Take care of what you can control. And that's what we try to get in the mindset of our team. I just sent our team an email on every guy on our team. Greg Popovich, his quotes between game 1 and game 2 of the NBA Western Conference Finals. So Popovich was talking about the mindset of his players and how you're consistently successful. And when I got here, I think I had them write their goals down, and all the guys were like, have a winning season, and the mindset was very limited. It wasn't, Marvin Lewis taught me no limits. He got in there, and the Bengals were 2-14 the year before. They had whatever 12 or 13 straight years of not being going to the playoffs. It was don't set limits. So you don't want to set limits. Our guys, we have the highest achieving, smart, bright, hard-working guys as there is in the country. So why set limits? Why say 6-4 is okay, is acceptable? That's really, in the end of the day, Pete Carrill, who I admire and was a great Hall of Fame basketball coach right down in Jadwin Gym right there. He used to let me watch him coach. I wanted to become a coach. Well, you learn from the greatest. And Pete, one day, my sophomore year, we'd gone 6-4, and some guys were, like we'd won the Super Bowl. And first place or no place, there's nothing in between. So you're always working to be the best. Richard Sherman, I took it as something he had done on Monday Morning Quarterback, where he talked about, we don't compete against opponents, we compete against our personal best. Jason Garrett, college teammate of mine, head coach of the Cowboys, be great today. So those are the things that we talk about. Every year, there's 3 themes that every guy on the team will get a shirt or have that theme on it. One of them was, that it was and then some. That we do our job, but if you put and then some on it, that's where the really special guys. The guy who, I say winning is voluntary. So yeah, our strength coach, who's the absolute best, puts a guy through a workout, and then the guy, one of our players, decides, hey, I'm going to run a little extra, and then some. So add that and then some. The second one was grind. I've been doing all these studies on grit. The intangible qualities that Angela Duckworth and some professional sports teams are starting to get into, and that our field hockey team, the national champions, got into. That intangible quality that separates the guys who are accepting mediocrity. They always say, good is the enemy of great. That's one of my favorite quotes. I say that to the team, good is the enemy of great. So don't accept mediocrity and good. Because when we went 5-5 2 years ago and had chances to win the Ivy League title and didn't, people were like, patting you on the back, this is good. And no, we don't win the Ivy League title unless we become grinders. We go right back in the weight room, we go right back on the practice fields, right back in the meeting rooms, and say that's not good enough. We got to keep going on that. And the last one, which leads into all this, we have faculty fellow programs. So I have 15 members of our university. Most of them are faculty, some of them are deans, some of them run the economics department, but a guy who's in the religion department sent me an email, and it was talking about Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese term for continuous improvement. So if that's what you worry about is growth and continuous improvement, instead of saying, looking at all the long-range goals, because you get we took classes a long time ago, and they give you the syllabus, and all the papers you got to do, all the midterms, it can be overwhelming. But then if you just look at day by day, make today great. Be great today, as Jason Garrett says. Worry about that, continually improve. Then you're going to, at the end of the year, you're going to say, you know what? We reached our goals. We're getting to that point where we're reaching all of our goals. And the ones we didn't get, we're going to work on fixing those and continually growing and improving. And you know, instead of taking the pats on the back from being 8-2, how can we be better? And that's the only way we have a shot at being better in a really challenging league.
All right, because we got a fan question coming from the fine folks over there at anygivensaturday.com. Great FCS forum. Question is, how is the quality of the Ivy League product on the field and the NFL prospects different from when you were a player?
You know, the biggest difference is the structure. I mean, it's amazing. We didn't have a strength coach. I don't know if any team in the Ivy League had a strength coach back from 1986 to 1990. Now we have a strength coach who's a master strength coach, and our guys will have such structure down there that they're getting stronger, they're getting faster. We can develop guys just as well as Alabama. I mean, we can have a program in the weight room just as good as any school in the country, and that's with all due respect. They're the gold standard, right? You know, down there. So we can hopefully do things in that way as well as them. We can have a video system just as well as the Cincinnati Bengals, right? We have actually the same system as them. So as coaches, there's greater teaching tools that way. So we have all this, you know, the high school coaches. You know, high school coaches get more time with their players than college and NFL coaches. You know, they do 7-on-7s that are structured year-round now in certain states. I mean, it's amazing how much they throw, they lift, they do all that. So they come to us 3 steps ahead of what we were, you know, that way. So we're getting guys who are just, you know, so far ahead and beyond in terms of a physical maturity and lifting, from a mental standpoint, understanding the game. I mean, it's just terrific that way, and that's why we're putting out, you know, Mike Catapano got drafted last year, and Karan Reed. I don't know, back then it'd been much more difficult because we didn't have the same, you know, the same ways to develop them. Now you can develop guys, and it's amazing that we can teach the same techniques on our own line that Andrew Whitworth learns, and he goes to the Pro Bowl. It's no different. We won't teach a different pass protection set than we taught there, where, you know, not only did I work in the NFL, but I had access to all kinds of videos, all kinds of, I could watch any game, any structural game. And, you know, so when our coaches go and they meet with, you know, outside coaches, they're that far, you know, ahead of the game in terms of what we do schematically and decisions we make. And, you know, the game keeps growing, you know, that way. Now those internal factors, that's on us as coaches to find guys who have unbelievable heart and desire and drive and commitment and intelligence. We got to find those guys. So now it's on us to bring those guys to Princeton and find the right ones. But once they get here, the development part is well beyond, you know, that you could even imagine that way.
Well, Coach, you had a great year last year, 8-2, and now hopefully, and then some, could lead you guys to even bigger heights in 2014. You did a lot in 2013, but I think you guys will do fine this year. I just want to thank you for taking time sitting with me, talking a little ball with the Czar on this segment, and we appreciate that and wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Well, thank you so much for having me here.
No, thanks. No problem.